Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ariyantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namaha Samai Saraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chit Sabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Ananta Ananta Bhava Bedathi Bareli Bali Ananta Ananta Naya Niksepe Vyakhani Che Sakala Jagata Hita Karini Harini Moha Tarini Bhavabdi Moksha Charini Pramani Che Upama Apyani Jene Tamara Kavite Vyartha આપવાથી નિજમતિ મપાઈ મેમાની છે અહો રાજ ચંદ્ર બાળ ખ્યાલ નથી પામતાય જીનેશ્વર તણી વાણી જાણી તેણે જાણી છે ગુરુરાજ તણી વાણી જાણી તેણે જાણી છે ઓમ નમઃ સિદ્ધેભ્યો ઓમ નમઃ સિદ્ધેભ્યો Om Sri Sudhatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Thanks. Today is May 25th, 2020, Memorial Day weekend, Monday, and we are meeting over here for our Atmasiddhi class. We are in Atmasiddhi class. We are in the tail part of the second stanza. So we'll try to finish that stanza and then try to go to the third stanza also. So that's our plan for today. So without further talking, I'll just bring the slide. So that way we'll start from the last time wherever we left out. Fifth yes, we were on the fifth ara last time we talked about, and we'll just recapitulate and then start going to the further ahead. Okay, so what's happening as we are talking about time infinite, and in the time infinite we are talking about time cycle, and in the time cycle we have 6 parts in a half time cycle, and in that half cycle 24 tirthankars are born. Actually there are 63 super personalities are born in this half time cycle. Those 63 personalities means 24 tirthankars, then 12 chakravarti means universal monarch, 9 baldev, 9 vasudev, 9 prativasudev. Vasudev is a 9 Vasudev, and his older brother is called Baldev, and Vasudev has an enemy, and they are also 9 in number. For example, if Lakshman was a Vasudev, then Ram is a Baldev, and Ravan was Prativasudev. That means Lakshman ultimately kills Ravan. So those 63 personalities are born, and these personalities, their life stories that we read in the storytelling scriptures. So those are those people. So we are passing through fifth ara. Fifth part of the half time cycle, and there is misery present. If we say fifth ara has a misery, sixth ara has an intense misery. 21,000 years from the time of Mahavir's nirvana. I think it's about a 576 or something like that years passed by since Mahavir's nirvana. 546, I think. I'm not sure exactly. So that many years passed by. So 500 years plus passed by. 21,000 years from the nirvana of Mahavir. There'll be end of fifth ara, end of some misery that we see today in this world. Then human beings become selfish and indulging in the infatuation. People become selfish, they become self-centered, helping the other people, etc. It becomes kind of a long gone case. They're also indulging in the infatuation. We see this today in this world right now. People are greedy. They have more and more and more toys that they can ever gather. And think technology was going so fast and everything that even a small kid boy can have a car with the electric car, and my god, I can never imagine those kind of things happening, but that's happening because there is a lots of indulging in infatuation state, etc. To get knowledge of the soul is becoming difficult, not impossible but difficult. I want to learn about the soul, but then where are those guru, where are those enlightened monks and everything? We don't see them, and especially in the western world we don't see those monks. And if those naked monks they come here, government will put a restriction on them also. So, to get knowledge of the soul is becoming difficult. One is not able to see the path to liberation. Path to liberation also becoming kind of a really, really difficult because there are so many people talking so different way that it gives me total confusion that of what's the right thing and what is not the right thing. I have no clue. I have limited intellect and limited time of life remaining with me. And in that one, to just go from one person to another person to third person, it's a blind leading the blind. Nobody knows the real thing. And those who know the real thing, then they don't want to follow them. Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami was there. Srimad Ji was there. But how many people knew Srimad Ji? Some people knew him, but when Srimad Ji wrote down Atmasiddhi by his own hand, there was no Xerox machines and everything. There was no soft copy, there was no printer, nothing. So he made a four handwritten Atmasiddhi, four copies, and he gave it to only four worthy souls only, and told them not to share with anybody else because was it a secret thing? No, because people were not ready to understand the philosophy. People were so ingrained, engrossed in the ritualistic society. Blind rituals were going on and on and on and on, and people did not know what's the right thing. What's a process? What's a reason behind the rituals? Nobody knew about it. Just because you are doing, so I'm doing it, so she's going to do it, he's going to do it, and blind leading the blind. So one is not able to see the path to liberation. Everywhere there is infatuation and illusions perceived means moh maya. Everywhere is infatuation, everywhere is a faith on the wrong objects and everything. This is going to make me happy, this is going to make me happy, and this is going to make me happy, and I can have so many things available to me, but I won't be still happy about it because the happiness attribute lies within me, not with the outside alien objects of the universe. If one car used to make me happy, then two cars should make me double happy. That means 10 cars should make me 10 times happy. Does it happen that way? or it becomes a real burden and liability. So infatuation and illusions are perceived mainly to get spiritual discourses, and experiencing of the soul becomes difficult. See, here Srimadji does not say it's impossible, but it's becoming difficult. Means if you put your heart into it, if you have a strong inclination to get the to go to the bottom of the philosophy, yes, one can understand, one can experience a soul. Only in our past 150 years back, Srimadji was there and he had realized his soul. Gurudev Sri, he just passed away. Gurudev Sri Kanji passed away about 33, 34 years back. He had a right faith. Ben Sri Ben had a right faith. So the right faiths people have it, but it is kind of difficult, and mainly to get spiritual discourses. First thing, I have no desire. I have no inquisitiveness. And second thing, as a result, there is nobody available to me. But if I'm really have a serious inclination within me, serious inquisitiveness with me, definitely I will be able to get somebody, because it said that upadan means your own self power. When you are ready with your self effort, self power, then your your work gets done no matter what. As long as you have a strong inclination from within, the true inclination, then it's going to work for you. So we have to keep thinking about that way and keep a positive attitude. So what? Difficulties there? Well, it says going gets tough and tough gets going. I just saw this one in the back of a pickup truck, the sticker. So it's very meaningful that when going gets tough, only tough who is internally who is tough, he keeps on going. So rather than worrying about it, blaming to the fifth ara, blaming to the non-availability of the true teachers, everything. Forget about that. You put your heart into it. You have genuine desire to learn. Believe me, you will get that thing done. It will be possible. You wanted to learn, you were ready, and suddenly we end up starting these classes and everything. So have the strong internal desire is very important. Darkness of ignorance is prevalent. Living being fails to understand the extreme importance of religious discourses. This is Patrank 291. Srimadji has written Patrank and he says, ignorance, darkness. This one we are talking almost 150 years back. The darkness of ignorance is prevalent. At that time in India, the total confusion was going on as per the religion is concerned, and people were only ritualistic. That's it. Only rituals and rituals. I'm doing this thing, I'm doing that thing, and that's why I'm better than you. And falsely thinking that he will get liberation by doing the action of the body. By doing the action of the body, which is a matter substance, how can you, as a soul substance, can get benefited? You did not give food to this mundane body today. And you said that's called upvas. How can it help the soul substance? Soul is not eating every day. Soul is not eating at all. Soul is doing function of knowing only. Only physical body is doing function of eating. So we have to be very careful that religious discourse 150 years back almost, that when Srimadji was there, at the time darkness was prevalent. If this was the situation 150 years back, think about today. It is much more darker than before. So living being fails to understand the extreme importance of religious discourse. Oh yeah. Somebody wants to give lectures. He has nothing to do, so he keeps on giving lectures and lecture after lecture after lecture. Who cares? I mean, come on. Living being fails to understand importance of religious discourses. Those who are interested, Total Malji, he wanted to read one scripture. So he sent four guys from Jaipur down south. I forgot the area where they were going, but down south. And it took several months for them to reach. And actually, one guy ended up dying on the way going to south. And finally, they got that book. They came, and after 3 months of whatever time, now Pandit Toramalji got that book. You can imagine the pleasure that he may have getting that book. And here today, oh, I can download. I was looking for one book and it was not downloadable. And I talked to one person in India and he wrote down one email to one person in Phoenix and I got that soft copy. I mean, just like that. Within a 2 hours time, 3 hours time, I end up getting that book. So because everything is easily available, so we just don't pay much attention to that. But it's important that we have to keep our guards ready and keep our thinking ready, that we would like to have quest for knowledge. I would like to learn deeper and deeper and deeper. I can assure you this philosophy from my own personal experience, and you guys born and brought up here, you also know it very well. That when you want to learn something, you have a desire, you end up learning those kind of things. So you have to keep thinking about it. Darkness of ignorance is there. Living being fails to understand extreme importance of religious discourses. So here, to have desire for liberation. This was Patrang 291 that Srimadji wrote down. This is another Patrang 433. What he says, what Srimadji says, to have desire for liberation, straightforward straightforward nature person, retirement for worldly affair, availability of learned saints are almost impossible. Therefore, the learned saints have said this time period is called Hunda Ausarpini, a period of downfall time in which extraordinary things happen. Now, what is Hunda Ausarpini Kal? Ausarpini Kal means descending time cycle. First ara is a happy, second ara is happy, third ara is happy, mild unhappiness, fourth ara is unhappy happiness, fifth ara is unhappiness, fifth ara is unhappy. So there are 6 ara descending time cycle from happiness to misery. This half time cycle, 24 Tirthankars are born. In the interim, if you look at it, the infinite half time cycle occurred in the past. Half time cycle is down, descending time cycle is a half cycle, ascending half cycle is time cycle. So in one complete time cycle, 224 sets of Tirthankars are born. And such type of infinite time cycle pass by. And it said that occasionally in such type of infinite time cycles, occasionally some the descending time cycle, Ausarpini time will come, in which it will be kind of awkward than normal pattern. So it just says some extraordinary thing happens. For example, the eternal birthplace for Tirthankar Bhagwan is Ayodhya. Eternal nirvana place for Bhagwan is Samet Sikhar. That's why Samit Sikhar has tremendous importance in the Jain philosophy. Wherever the Tirthankar Bhagwan is there, and he goes to Nirvana. So whatever place he is doing meditation, on the exact same straight line up, he goes to moksha. So if I go to the Samet Sikhar and I just say, this is the Vasupujya Swami went for Nirvana here. So there is a small temple type of thing, and there is a only signs of the feet signs are there. So I bow down to those feet signs and look up straight up, and that will be Vasupujya Swami will be sitting there. Shantinath Bhagwan will be sitting in the same line, means straightforward. Parshnath Bhagwan, same thing. So 20 Tirthankar went to Nirvana from Samet Sikhar. Actually, all 24 are supposed to go Nirvana from Samet Sikhar, but because of this Hunda Avsar Pinikal period of downfall time in which extraordinary thing happens, then only 20 Tirthankara went to Nirvana from Samet Sikhar, and 4 went from different places. Similarly, from Ayodhya, it's an eternal birthplace of all the Tirthankar, but in this time period, only 5 Tirthankar were born in Ayodhya and rest were born different areas. So this is the effect of such type of very occasional crooked downfall time in which extraordinary things happens, things like that. Now, Mahavir, generally speaking, any Tirthankar, when he obtains Keval Gnan, right away he starts giving discourses. In Mahavir's time, Mahavir Swami got omniscience knowledge. But for next 66 days, there was no discourses coming from Mahavir Swami. People were worried and they were just saying, what is happening? So heavenly angel, he had a clairvoyance knowledge and he activated his clairvoyance knowledge and he found out that only certain time that when the right time comes, Mahavir will have the discourses coming, but at that time there has to be presence of a Gandhar Bhagwan. The first disciple of Mahavir Swami has to be there. So this heavenly king of angel, he goes to Indrabhuti Gautam and brings him to the assembly of preaching for Mahavir Swami. He comes there, he passes through man's thumb, that ego dissolving monument, and suddenly his ego gets dissolved. If you see the picture of that man's thumb over here in the Phoenix temple, this guy, this picture that we see, that's a man's thumb. When he's passing through man's thumb, his ego got dissolved and Mahavir Swami started giving discourses. Remember, it's happened after 66 days of omniscience knowledge, which is extraordinary thing. It doesn't happen generally. So this is the Hunda Ausarpinika that we are passing through. Let's see next. One second, I have to put this fan off. Okay, one second. Sorry about that. Okay. So, due to non-availability of the religious discourses, means satsang, presence of sinful association means asatsang, it's getting difficult to get path to liberation in this time period. Why am I having difficulties? Because non-availability of religious discourses. How many lucky people could be there that they will take time off and listen to the religious discourses. I'm very busy, I'm very busy, I'm very. What are you busy for? This is the religious discourse is a no place in their life. So that's called satsang is not available as much. Presence of sinful association. I have association with the people, and like today we got the email. The Jain Center will have a kind of fun-filled 1 hour for senior citizens. Can you not make a class, religious class? Why do you have to have quote unquote fun-filled hour? Presence of sinful association. So my path to liberation in this time period is getting difficult because of such situation. Path to liberation is almost non-existence. Moksha marg bahulop, almost non-existent. Talking about non-existence, from Suvidinath, ninth number Tirthankar is Suvidinath, 10th is Sheetalnath, 11th is Sriyansnath, 12th is Vasupujya, 13th is Vimalnath, 14th is Anantnath, 15th is Dharmanath. Suvidinath to Dharmanath, 7 times religion got non-existent. Means Tirthankar is there and he will establish the fourfold congregation, and people will start learning religion, everything. But as time passed by, before the next Tirthankar is coming, religion got totally lost. Suvidinath, Sitalnath, Shyamnath, Vasupajya, Vimalnath, Anantnath, Dharmanath. When the Shantinath Bhagwan came, from the lineage of Shantinath Bhagwan all the way to Mahavir Swami Bhagwan, there was a constant flow of these discourses, constant flow of the religious discourses. And from Mahavir Swami onwards, the first disciples and another disciples, another Acharya Bhagwan, and the lineage continues till today, that we get the flow of these religious discourses unhindered, provided I'm ready to accept it. If water spilled on a counter and I put the sponge, and sponge will suck the water out. But if I put the parchment paper, it will not take the water. It will not suck the water out. So those who are interested in the religious study and everything, anywhere, when this satsang is available, religious discourse is available, then he or she will grab it and absorb it right away. So path to liberation is almost non-existent. Even though it's almost non-existent, one can achieve it with an intense effort. So remember here, if one understands the hierarchy, one puts his or her heart into it, then you may have to do some extra effort. Compared to the past, there's going to be much more effort one has to do. But with that personal effort, intense personal effort, I can realize the soul substance today also. Only the thing, I have to have inquisitiveness within me. Don't blame that this is fifth ara. We live in the foreign country. We have a language bar and everything. There no literature available in the, not much literature available in the English language, etc. etc. We can complain as much as we want to. On the other side of the coin, one can say, hey, I'm sitting in my own home. We are hundreds of miles apart from each other. And sitting at home, you can still learn. So we have to look from a positive point of view. So even though almost non-existent, one can achieve it with an intense effort. So I had to put my effort. Effort in what way? Am I ready to do my personal effort? This is not like you get out at the height of 100-degree in Phoenix and start digging ditches in the front yard, and that is called personal effort. No, personal effort means you understand the philosophy. You understand what Acharya Bhagwan wants to tell us, how he's leading us. Those things we have to understand. So when we do that, we will be able to achieve the ultimate goal of a Samyak Darshan or self-realization. It's possible today because we are five sentient beings, we are giants, we have learned the scriptures, we have studied the scripture, we have digested the scripture, and now what's remaining? Implementation. Simply digestion of the scripture is not important. Just implementation is more important. So that a personal effort we have to perform. Enlightened teachers without any prejudice opens up the knowledge regarding the path to liberation. Srimad Rajchandraji says over here that without any prejudice that I in my mind, I am opening up this knowledge regarding path to liberation because I have experienced the soul substance. Because I have experienced soul substance, that's why I have understood the path to liberation, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to hide anything. So, sixth, Dukkham Dukkham Kal, this time of absolute misery and unhappiness. Remember, after 21,000 years, that another 21,000 will be severe miserable situation. So absolute misery and unhappiness. During the time, people will be experience nothing but misery, nothing but suffering continuously. There'll be no trace of religious activity. Mahavir, what's happening? Each time a Tirthankar is born, and Tirthankar is born, then he establishes fourfold religious congregation. Householder, him, householder, her, male, naked, Digambar saints, and Arika. Arika means the female priest, basically. So, every Tirthankar, when he obtains Keval Gnan and then when they end up going to Nirvana, this fourfold congregation is established and religious process continues. But here, Mahavir Swami's reign of religion will go on until 2500 years from now, and thereafter, in the sixth era, there is not going to be any religion. God forbid if we end up getting birth there, it will be a total waste of my life because there's no religious activity there at all. The lifespan of people will be very short. They'll be about foot or so height and exceeding no more than 20 years of life. They have very short span and height is also less. And there'll be total chaos will be there because most people will be non-vegetarian and the social structure will be destroyed. There won't be anything like society there. Everything will be selfishness, killing, and all kind of things going on. That's a sixth ara, which we don't want to go there. We will stay in this fifth ara. We'll do personal effort. We'll obtain samyak darshan, and we'll keep going further. For whom the path to liberation is shown. Now, Srimadji says, I'm going to show the path to liberation, but for whom he's showing the path? Who is the worthy soul? If he's showing, that means somebody is somebody ready to listen to him, right? Yes, there are people ready to listen to him, and he's saying that, okay, I'm going to show you the path to liberation. For the soul seekers, the path is getting shown. Those who are serious students of philosophy, those who are determined that they would like to experience the soul substance, even though there's going to be increased effort in this life, still the soul seekers, they are looking for the path to liberation, and Tirthankar Bhagwan is going to show the path to path. Or Srimad Ji over here says, I'm going to show the path to liberation. Who is the soul seeker now? We said that soul seeker, if the path is getting shown to soul seeker, but who is the soul seeker? For the one who has only motive is to realize the soul. Soul seeker is a person whose only motive is to realize the soul substance. That's all he is looking for, is how can I realize my soul substance. For such soul seekers to have thought process regarding the soul. For such soul seekers, the thought process is laid out regarding the soul substance, and then they understand what's a real thought process for the soul. The path to liberation is shown directly for such soul. That's why Srimad Ji says, I am going to show vicharva atmarthine bhakyo atra agop. Those people who are the soul seeker, that I'm going to show the path to liberation to them without any prejudice. That's what he's showing, talking to us. Srimad Ji had self-realization, and he has kindly shown the path to liberation to us. He's showing path to liberation to us because he himself has realized his soul. When he has seen, when he has experienced, when his conduct is getting engrossed into the soul substance, then he knows the reality, he knows the real nature of the soul. And without forgetting, he is now taking vow to distribute this knowledge to all of us. It said that if money is there, and if you start spending money, money will get less and less in your treasury. But the knowledge, the treasure of knowledge, when you distribute, then actually knowledge keeps on increasing. So Srimadji said that he is self-realization, and he's going to show the path to liberation to us. And method used in this scripture is students, teachers, question, answer form. So in this Atmasiddhi Shastra, after the initial stanzas are done, the way we have distributed stanzas before, in the sense, right now we are looking at the general nature of the soul, then we'll just go by those six tenets, that soul is there, soul is eternal, soul is a doer, soul is an enjoyer, path to liberation is there, and what's a path to liberation. So these are the things that he's talking to us. And he said that the method used in the scripture will be student teachers asking question answer. The learned student, when we see those questions coming from the learned student, it is amazing how in-depth knowledge student has it, that he's asking question to Srimad Ji, and Srimad Ji answers those questions. Now, he said that I'm going to show this path to liberation for worthy soul. But who are eligible person? Can anybody from the street walking in can be eligible person? No. There are certain category of a human being that we know, then it is present in those living being, then they become an eligible person. One who has extremely mild form of toxic emotion, manda kashai, one who has anger, deceit, ego, greed, are in a mind, extreme milder form. You look at the face of that person and you just say, he is oozing the peace. And the phony baloney guy, when you look at him, you can see his crookedness on his face, and you say, this is not right for me to go. So, who is extreme? One who is extremely milder toxic emotions that they may have it, and they are one of the eligible person. One who has only contemplation, one who has only contemplation is to obtain liberation, obtain nirvana, matra moksha bilas. Only desire I have, only inclination I have is obtaining liberation, obtaining liberation, obtaining liberation. For that, he has to have samyak darshan and he will get it. But he has this, he has only contemplation, is desire to obtain liberation. Now, at the same time, he has an apathy towards the worldly affair. Bhave khed. Worldly, he runs the business, he runs the family, he earns the money, he has milder toxic emotions of anger, deceit, ego, greed, but he also has apathy for worldly affair. He doesn't have any liking or disliking. But for worldly affair, he definitely has an apathy. He just does not have lounging for enjoyment for the worldly things. That reminds me, um, when Hemant Baiji came for Pratishtha at Toronto in 2015, I think, 15, 14, whatever year, I was there. I was part of the Pratishtha also. And once the Pratishtha was done for 8 days of festivity and everything, so all the other Pandits and musicians and everybody who came from India, they said, now that we have fulfilled our duties, can we just take us to city tour? Because these people are coming for the first time out of India and everything. So we took them for Niagara Falls, etc. We talked to him and by, come on. Nah, I don't want to come. This is the first time he's going out to that country, but he has no interest. We pushed him and he says, what? Do you want me to see waterfall? You want me to see one sense living being organism? I'm better off at this home and I'll do my swadhyay. So this kind of person, they apathy towards worldly affair. They have really apathy and they have intense desire to get liberation. So these two things, one is a from positive perspective, it's intense desire. One is a apathy, means from negative perspective, for worldly affairs. Compassion towards all living being, prani daya. As a Jain, you will have compassion towards even the smallest living creature. You will try to avoid killing those organisms because your compassion towards all the living organisms, including human beings and everybody. Only contemplation is for benevolent for the soul. Atma Kalyan. Only my contemplation is only for my soul. How can I fulfill my soul's desire? So these are the eligible persons' background. They will come and pick you up right now with this anyway. So contemplation is benevolent for the soul. So these are the eligibility for such soul, And when those people have that eligibility, then they are ready to accept discourses. They are like a sponge that they're ready to absorb that water spilled on the counter. They're not like a aluminum foil that will not absorb any water. Those ignorant souls, they will not learn anything from the discourses. But these guys are ready. They are ready to absorb knowledge as much as possible thrown at them. So they are eligible persons. So Srimadji says, I'm going to work for them. I'm going to give the discourses for them. And that's what he says. Then this word comes vicharva. Vicharva means thought process. Vicharva atmartine bhakyo atra agop. Vicharva means what? This is a very loaded word, and we have to understand what it is. First is to study the scripture. First and foremost thing, I want to have liberation. First and foremost thing, did you study the scriptures? Did you understand the scriptures? Did you raise the questions? Did you get the answers? Do you have clarification of the principles? So first study the scriptures. Then reading, writing, reciting. Studying the scripture, reading is there. You can also write, you can also do reciting. Bhaktamar Stotra has a 48 stanza. You study and you recite and you remember by heart and you just recite every day. Atmasiddhi Shastra is 142 stanza. So you learn, you read, you recite, and you write, and all kind of things. So that means it becomes second nature for that person. So he's studying, then reading, writing, reciting, and then contemplation of the same means manan chintan. Now he studied the material very well. Now he contemplates on whatever he has learned. All the thing that he learned, he contemplates on it. He has deep reflections on it. He keeps on chewing that material again and again and again. Deep understanding of the nature of the reality means Gambhir Vicharana. Contemplation is there. Now he has a deep understanding of the nature of reality. What is the soul? Who is the soul? I am the soul. What am I here for? What's my activity? Do I have a relationship with the material karma, etc.? So this kind of deep understanding he does. This kind of deep understanding takes him way within into the core of the soul substance to understand it better. The true determination of the nature of the reality means tattva nirnay. Now, with all this above mentioned thing, now I had true determination of the nature of reality. This is the real nature of the soul substance. This is the attributes are working this way. Origination works this way. Disintegration works this way. All those things he has a very good understanding of the reality. Now, reflective thoughts getting firmer. Now he's concentrating, repeating again and again, meditating on those things. So now reflective thought becomes firmer, firm. Whatever he has learned for the nature of the soul, that he has a firmness understanding all the things. Then what happens after the Drad Vikalp? Reflective thoughts getting weaker. Over here, reflective thoughts are there and they are getting firmer. Over here, finally, those thought process become weaker also. Over here, these two Buddha, what's the difference? In the morning, I wake up and I go to the mirror and I look at my reflection, say, hey, this is you. Remember, what was your name? Oh, I remember. Your name is Kirit. Remember throughout the day today, your name is Kirit. Do I have to do that? No, I have deep conviction about it. Deep conviction that I am the Kirit. My name is Kirit. I don't have to remember. It's already ingrained in my psyche. So previously I was getting reflective thought getting firmer, but now that I know who am I, my reflective thought starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And one day, primary abstract comprehension of the eternal soul substance, Atma Anubhuti, occurs to me. Primary abstract comprehension of the eternal soul substance, Atma Anubhuti, occurs. Means now the reflective thoughts have settled down, and now I am just going in primary abstract comprehensive state. Means I'm experiencing soul substance. Means it's my self-realization. Means it's called Samyak Darshan. So it starts from this point over here, and each steps you're passing by this one and that one and this one and all those things. Ultimately, you come over here, primary abstract comprehension, and that's called experiencing of the soul substance. That's called fourth spiritual development state, and that's called the purity of the soul generating for the first time. Purity getting generated is called samvartatva or stoppage element. If I ask you what's the definition of a stoppage, and you've gone through Pachala many years at Los Angeles, etc. So, what's a stoppage definition? Can somebody tell me what's a stoppage definition means? You can unmute and tell me. Stoppage. What does stoppage represent? Samvar. Samvar means what? One of you can unmute and yeah, go ahead.
Addition of new karmas, stopping the addition of new karmas.
Now, remember, stopping of addition of new karma. So, who is principal here? Karma is principal you made, right? You are talking from karma perspective, right? What happens to me though? Here. What about me? So we forget that state. I am the soul substance. When the stoppage of karma occurs, okay, that's a karma, but what happened here? Did something happen here? Or simply stoppage of karma occurred and that's it? No. Here the purity got generated. For time infinite with me, there was a impurities, altered thought process, altered mode coming, vibhav paryay coming throughout my entire existence so far. And for the first time, now my faith attribute has a mode getting directed to myself. Until now, my faith attributes modes was to the alien objects of the universe. Now, for the first time, that mode got directed to my eternal soul substance, and that's called generation of the purity. So, somewhere means generation, beginning of purity within me. That has to be my central theme. Everything we just say, we have to say, what is in for me as a soul? Any definition has to be soul centric. Bondage doesn't mean simply karma coming. No, here in my soul, in me as a soul, I have intense inclination of attachment, intense inclination of aversion, rag and dvesh, intense. And that's why karma comes to me. So I have to start from the soul. Same thing, nirjana means what? You will say about karma getting disintegrated from the soul. But what happens to the soul at that time? In somewhere, beginning of purity is there. In nirjana, increase in the purity is there. And moksha, complete purity of the soul. Everything has to be a soul-centric definition has to be there. Our mindset, we have to change it. Infinite years in the past, this is what is ingrained in our brain. We have to change that attitude. And that's called primary extra comprehension, means experience of the soul. That means it's called nirvikalp dasha. That means it's called samyak darshan. That means it's called samvartatva also. That means it's a stoppage element. So this is the process one has to follow to obtain primary abstract comprehensive state or samyak darshan or self-realization. Let's go further up. In the first stanza, it said that since time infinite, I'm lost. The Sadguru showed me the path. I bowed down to him. That's the first stanza. Now here, this stanza says, second stanza, that at present time, the path to liberation is almost non-existent. And liberation is absent, but to have true faith and the knowledge for the reality is almost non-existent. Next, it's been shown now. So second stanza said that liberation is absent in this life right now, but true faith and knowledge are also getting almost non-existent. And I'm going to show the path for that. That's the second stanza. Now in the third stanza, he's going to say next, it's been shown why about things are almost impossible, why the true faith and knowledge of the realities are almost non-existent. What's the reason for that? And for that, he is going to, Srimadji goes through few of the stanzas to explain to us what is happening. Who is at fault? I am at fault. I am the problem. I have to solve my problem. So he's going to show some of the stanzas in the next few stanzas. In the present time, the altered knowledge of the existence of the soul is prevalent. Altered knowledge is prevalent. My soul's altered knowledge, vibhav is prevalent. Such reasons are explained in next few stanzas, that why I have an intense altered knowledge and altered functions of the soul, means vibhav paryay. Why do I have vibhav? That was he's going to explain to us in the third, fourth, fifth, at least up to three stanzas. He's going to explain those things to us. So here we are coming to the stanza number 3 right now. Almost time is up, so we will start next time the stanza. So if there's any question, couple of minutes are there, so we can entertain the question. Any question, please?
Hi, Uncle. This is Dinisha. I had a question about under your Vichar slide.
Yeah.
I was a little bit confused on when you went from reflective thoughts getting firmer to reflective thoughts getting weaker.
Yes.
I don't grasp that still.
Yes. See, now remember, a newborn baby is born. And the newborn baby is born, and we keep on hitting him. Ayan, 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 ayan. Several hundred times a day, he's getting bombarded with those names. And then after a while, he just comes to understand that maybe is it me? Child is innocently born. Now we imposed our own ideas to him that your name is Ayan. That's it. Your name is Ayan. Now he just says, oh, that's me. That's what they talk about me. When they say Ayan, when I smile, they become happy. When I cry, they become unhappy. Oh, that means I'm Ayan. So now his thought process becomes stronger and stronger, firmer. His reflective thought becomes firmer. But now, day in, day out, he keeps on listening the same sound again and again and again and again and again. So now he says, okay, I am Ayan. And that sits in his psyche permanently. And now he doesn't have to remember those things. Similarly, I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul, I'm the pure soul, I'm the pure soul, I'm the pure. That kind of reflective thought, because since time infinite, I am thinking about alien objects of the universe all the time. My whole entire existence today, until today, is dependent on the alien objects of the universe. Now that Acharya Bhagavan comes back and says, hey, you are the soul. You are the soul. You are eternal soul. So this wrong faith, which has an extreme tight control on me as a soul, when I start thinking, I am the soul, I'm the soul, I'm the soul, means I'm trying to come out of the shackle of the bondage of the wrong belief within me. So I had to intensely work on it. I'm the soul, I'm the soul, I'm the soul, I'm the soul, like that. Now that I am the soul, in my wrong belief is get shaken up. My thought process is getting firmer. And now my reflective thoughts about I'm the soul, 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 it becomes weaker and weaker. And at one fine moment, this reflective thought, I am the soul, I am the soul, means I and soul as if they are two different things. That's quite a reflective thought. Now that now that idea is getting firmer, then this the reflective thought becomes weaker, weaker, weaker. Now it is in my psyche. It is ingrained. So now it's very easy for me from the reflective thoughts to go to the primary abstract comprehension, which is called nirvikalta, which is without reflective thought state. Means experiencing of the soul substance. When you become weaker and weaker, your reflective thought becomes weaker. That means now you are able to throw them out and go to the primary abstract comprehensive state. So vikalp dasha, from vikalp dasha to go to nirvikalp dasha. That's what we are aiming for. So this is the process that has been described by Srimadji. This is a process that's described in Samesa. This is a process Gurudev Kanji Sai kept on saying for 45 years. And if I follow this process, could there be another process also, where if you understand this process, why don't you stick to one thing only? Because Jainism is knowledge based religion. One is very intelligent to grab this understanding. So this reflective thoughts to have it towards the soul, that means getting weaker from the alien objects of the universe. What's alien object? Physical body is my alien object. So I'm taking attention away from here and bringing here. When attention comes over here, that means my thought process have already subsided and I have primary abstract comprehension. So that's why it's getting firmer and then weaker, right?
Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay. If not, then we'll do the closing. Okay. जी स्वरूप समझा विना पाम्यो दुख अनंत समझाव्यो ते पद नमो श्री सदगुरु भगवन परम पुरुष प्रभु सदगुरु परम ज्ञान सुखदाम जेने आप्યું બાનની તેને સદા પ્રણામ देह छता जेनी दशा वर्ते देहाती ते ज्ञानी ना चरण हो वंदन अगणी जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालो सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ जय जिनेन्द्र एवरीबडी
Jai Shinendra.
जय जिनेन्द्र थैंक यू
Jai Jinendra.
जय जिनेन्द्र